Hi guys, it's me. I wanted to talk about who I feel are the worst kind of parents. Talked about myself previously in my parenting fail video where I failed my kids in certain ways, but the one place I didn't fail, which and sometimes we have to catch ourselves as parents, where youngest daughter, she had sworn at me and you had to nip that in the bud. But anyways, the one thing I didn't fail at was my daughters keeping their hands to themselves. For instance, they didn't put their hands on me. And when there was a shift and I became a friend more than a mom to them, and I had to shift back, and you have to, you have to catch it sooner than later. Anyways, I'm also watching the birds outside, so I kind of get distracted when I see birds. But I want to say the one thing that I know I did right, and I said my kids aren't talking to me today, but it's a discipline, the respect for the house, respect for me, respect for your sisters, and this and that. So, anyways, moving on, I want to talk about years ago. I met this guy, and he had two daughters, younger than mine, and super nice guy. Met his daughter, the youngest. She was real sweet. The oldest was sweet too. And as I got to know them, as she got more comfortable around me, her true nature came out, and she would kick him, punch him, slap him, spit in his face, throw temper tantrums like a 2-year-old, and it was just a complete disruption. And it was heartbreaking because I really cared for this person. And I said, my daughters would never do this to you and they wouldn't do this to me. So, and not only that, her behavior was rewarded. She got whatever she wanted. And so the relationship did not last because there was just imbalance in parenting styles. And as adults, sometimes we have an imbalance in parenting styles compared to our friends, our siblings, etc. And all I know, when you look in the news and you see the worst offenders that are normally in court are the young men and women who have never been taught to keep their hands to themselves, and who are allowed not only to put their hands on their siblings and parents, but other people too, and that believe that they are on an equal playing field to adults, and that have never been taught respect for adults. For instance, when I was young, my grandparents, you'd never disrespect them, talk back to them, call them names, push them around, swear at them, and you just didn't do it. When my grandfather walked in the room, we parted like the Red Sea, and he went to his chair and sat down. And you never mouthed off, you never talked back. It's just the way it was. And we have since the age of divorce, the parents have now shifted and become their kids' friends. Have wanted to appease their children, not you don't want to see them cry, and put them up on a pedestal, and they never suffer any consequences, and they're allowed to make adult decisions in their teen years. And then those of us who have raised children who have primarily been respectful and been kind and been pleasant around other adults have you sit them in a room with other adults and they have respect for the adults in the room. When you have a child that has not had respect for adults, it makes for a very uncomfortable situation. It's the kind of situation where you want to say to the person, really, are you kidding me? Why is your son calling you the B word or a hoe, or pushing you around, degrading you, acting like your partner, your best friend, etc. It's just sad. I mean, perfect examples of what we have seen recently is Brock Turner, who raped his college student, raped a girl behind a dumpster, and his dad wrote a letter saying, "Don't ruin my son's college education." And now it defended his son and didn't make his son take responsibility for his actions. Who probably bailed his son out or got him the best lawyers. These are the parents who need to make money because their children will eventually have lawyers in the future because they don't have respect for society in general. Um, I have a friend who has two boys and a girl. The two boys are the oldest. The girl is youngest. She's 13, and then we have 16 and 18. And so the oldest is fine, and the younger son. Parents got divorced when he was, and he became the adult in the home, like the man of the house. And it's just the way it was. There was a shift. And so the child became the adult, and the child is disrespectful to my friend and outwardly disrespectful to me. And there's a point in time when you say, really, like if you love your friend, you're like, really, this is really happening, and you say this is really uncomfortable, and as a person, an outsider, you can't really say anything because this is not your child. And parents that fail to raise children who have respect for other people would never in a million years take what you say as a personal attack. Instead, hey, this is uncomfortable. Well, not my son. You have a child who's caught with a gram of coke. You see intervention all the time. Not my son. These are the parents that bail their kids out and that put them up on a pedestal and never make them face consequences. In fact, allow them to do whatever they want and laugh about the behavior when their son or daughter gets into trouble, or, oh, my son just got into trouble, my son this, my daughter that. You're like, really? And normally the home the children are raised in is very, very chaotic too. And everybody around them knows there's a problem, but the home never changes. And eventually these children, young adults, are going to be released into society, and society is not going to be very kind to them. That's why we have law enforcement, is because we need them. And that's just the way it is. So the worst kind of parents are the parents that become their kids' best friends and fail to discipline and fail to set boundaries and fail to raise human beings which are kind and just respectful. That's just about it. And my videos have triggered people, and I like I said before, I wasn't a perfect parent, and my youngest was at times disrespectful, and there was a time when we couldn't, it was not cohesive for us to be together because it was just off kilter. And we had gone in a certain direction, and I had gotten divorced, and her and I allowed her to be on the same playing field with me, although she didn't put her hands on me and never shoved me or pushed me around or threw temper tantrums. There was a time we were on the same playing field, and she believed she had the right to make rules in my home, and she believed she had the right to know how much I had in my account, and because I had gotten an inheritance from my dad, she believed she had the right to that too. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Kids should never be on the same playing field with their parents, but unfortunately, due to divorce, it happens more often than not. And even in families where there are no divorced parents, where parents are where there's chaos in the parental relationship, sometimes the kids are the ones that side with one parent and become that parent's partner and fill the gap, and really just become side with one parent over the other, or that's just the way it is. So anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about. Don't be that parent. I've made a lot of videos, and every single video I make is my truth and how I feel and my experience. So if this triggers you, you're one of the worst parents out there. Just should save all of your money because you're going to need it for bail. And that's about it. And lawyers and court fees and probably a whole bunch of stuff in the legal world. So that's all I wanted to say was, don't be that parent. And if you are, only God can save you. So anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. And I hope everyone has a great day, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.